Welcome back to Mystical Heart Tarot Readings. This is another update on Little Summer Moon, Utah Wells, as seen through the eyes of a stranger with the help of Spirit. Now, I do have a few questions that I'm going to ask. And the first question I'm going to ask, I've seen around the internet, around social media this morning. What happened at Summer's home last night? We've got three major cards on the board here. This card, and this card. We have, the first card is the Temperance card. Somebody under the sign of Sagittarius, possibly. Excuse my dog, he's sneezing. Oh, now he's coughing. Sorry about that. The Temperance card reflects inspiration. So I'm not sure what kind of inspiration. Maybe somebody was inspired to speak up and speak their truth. I don't know. Because next to that we have the Page of Cups. This could be somebody younger, starting a new journey. Somebody under the sign of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Well, we know Dad's Scorpio. And Pisces is the young man. But next to that is, there's a change. A change took place last night. Some kind of a change. With this card. The Knight of the Dark Soul. And then we have the Sun card. Sun usually reflects joy. This could represent somebody under the sign of Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I say all three because it is the Sun. The Sun represents fire. And now we're going to clarify these cards. But there was some kind of a change that took place last night. And the Sagittarius, we have a few of those. I don't have my information in front of me, but I know there is several Sagittarius. And yeah, so we're going to clarify the Temperance card. Somebody was inspired to speak. Somebody was inspired to talk. Let's look at the Page of Cups. And the page is starting a new journey because of thoughts or communication. This is a delay in thoughts or communication. So somebody talked, somebody communicated, but this person is holding back, delaying communication. Now let's look at the Death card. No, it does not necessarily mean literal death. We have the Ten of Wands, and it's in reverse. The Ten of Wands is in reverse, and it's clarifying the change. The change reflecting a broken relationship of some sort. Did somebody tell something that they knew? And now we'll do the Sun card. We'll clarify the Sun card. And we get the King of Cups in reverse. The King of Cups in reverse. Cups being Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So we have the page here. And the page is being watched. So the question was what happened at the house last night, and the card I expected to have show up didn't. However, when I just looked over at the vice versa deck that I use, the card I expected to see show up is right there on top. And you see me set that deck down. When I dropped that King of Cups, I placed that deck over there. And I wasn't paying attention to what was on top of it. But there is Lady Justice. So did law enforcement show up at their house last night? Possibly. Did a Sagittarius? Did somebody enter the sign of Sagittarius talk? and this person feels betrayed, broken trust, broken relationship, delayed thoughts, delayed communication. And when I say delayed communication, that usually means somebody knows the truth, but they're holding it back. And Lady Justice is right there on the top. Now, I don't know. I know that it's been reported that he committed SA against his stepsisters, and there's 5 other people, not counting her, 6 total, coming forth. Now, is that, I don't know their signs, their astrology signs. His stepsister, I don't think I have her sign, her astrology sign. But if indeed the government agency did show up and it is related to the stepsister, then that's not necessarily related to Summer. It could be 2 different cases. But I feel like somebody spoke, possibly a Sagittarius. Could have been somebody, like I said, I don't know the signs of his stepsister. I don't think I have it. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I feel like the story's right there. That what happened last night was law enforcement showed up. Now, whether it's related to Summer or not, I don't know. I somewhat have that feeling because the swords could represent Summer. But somebody broke his trust. Broke the relationship. Or there was neglect. But the 10 of Wands is Aries, Leo, Sag. So I feel like there was a broken relationship between Scorpio and a fire sign. I wanted to get that question out there because I had, like I said, I heard about this through social media, in different forms of social media, actually. A few other questions. Okay, everybody keeps telling me about this boat. Apparently there is a... I don't know, I didn't see it. Of course I wasn't looking for it. But I'll ask, what is the purpose of the boat that's supposed to be next to the house? You see me shuffle the cards. You seen me shuffle them 3 times. You seen me cut them. Now, how this reflects on a boat, I don't know. And the question being is, what is the purpose of the boat? Here we have the Knight of Wands. Wands being the fire signs Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. He's moving away from a conflict of some sort. He's moving away from what appears to be an explosion, an eruption. That's a volcano about to erupt in the background. If we look at the volcano is technically made out of 2 of the elements. It's made out of earth and it's made out of fire. The volcano itself is made out of earth, which is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And the lava that's inside of it that's building up is fire, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, which is what the Knight of Wands is. And he's taking action. He's moving away from that. Next is the Death card, Scorpio. Again, Dad. But the Death card in itself represents change. And then we have in a sense of speaking, I don't know, maybe you can look at it. Is there a boat? Is the skull the front of a boat with a shield and a horse on it? In this deck, the Death card, this reminds me of a pirate because he has a flag. I just noticed it. There's a rose on that flag. And then next to that we have the Nine of Swords. This is somebody that is receiving messages in their dreams from ancestors, spirit guides, God source. This swords could be somebody under the air signs, and she's the only air sign that we are aware of at this point in time. Then we had the Five of Wands in reverse. So somebody's energy is drained. Aries, remember, is the fire signs. Somebody's energy is being drained. But I don't see how this involves a boat. So let's clarify these cards. Other than the fact that this looks like a boat, a pirate ship. At least to me it does. Alright, we're going to clarify the Knight of Wands. And we get the Ace of Swords. A new start. A new thought. Swords being Aquarius. And now the Death card. We'll clarify that one. And that card is clarified by the Sun in reverse. Not all things come in time. This card is reversed. The Nine of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Cups. And Seven of Cups is upright. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, so this could be dad or the young man. As I said, this is somebody that is receiving messages in their dreams. The Seven of Cups reflects choices. The heart center that should be here is being masked by all these other emotions. The heart is being ignored while all these other emotions are being looked at. And we know one of these two people has been all over the place. I'm talking about Dad with his being nice 1 minute to specific people and turning around and being angry with them the next minute. That's what this is, masking emotions. Having to make a choice. Now the Five of Wands. We're going to clarify the Five of Wands. And it's got the Six of Swords in reverse. Conflict. There was a conflict, maybe surrounding the boat, because here is a boat. I don't know what the boat looks like. Other people have seen it apparently in one of the videos. I don't know. I have not. I have no idea what the boat looks like. So if this represents the boat, or even looks remotely like the boat, you can let me know in the comment section. But this looks like, this reflects somebody having a conflict. Either a verbal conflict or a conflict within their own thoughts. I don't know what this... I'm not getting the question, what was the purpose of the boat? To go out and get away from conflicts. Moving away from conflicts, possibly. But you can see clearly whose boat it belongs to, who the boat belongs to, right here. I don't know if he fishes or not. I know fishing was mentioned by somebody, but I don't remember who it was. Let me move on. I have other questions. So the next one I'm gonna, well, the next one is a yes or no question. Any evidence in or near the water taken back and thrown in the water? That's a yes or no question that I can't answer. So if you can formulate that question where it's not yes or no, leave it in the comment section. So I'm going to move on to the next two obvious questions. The first of the next two obvious questions. I'm going to have to reword them. They're both yes or no questions. Let me go to another question while I'm trying to figure out how to reword those. The next question is, when will she be found? What season? We've got the Knight of Wands. Wands represents fire. When we think of fire, we think of summer. And I don't mean the child summer, I mean the season. Spring and summer. Because of the heat. Let me pull another card to see if it'll give me a number. I got the number 5 here. This is the Hierophant. 5 represents the month of May. So that would be around spring. You're looking at spring, summer. So this card was accurate. You wanted to know when would she be found. So we're looking, I'm sorry to have to say this, but this is what Spirit's showing me. Spring to summer, and I pulled a card for a number, and the Hierophant is number 5. So we're looking in May. Now, I think I pulled a card before in a previous video in regards to when she would be found. And I got the number 8. So if we look back at that video, and I don't remember which one it was of this video number 22. So I don't recall. I could look through my notes maybe and see. I believe I probably pulled that card sometime last month. And if I recall correctly, it was the number 8. That would put us right close to this time frame. If you count ahead 8 months from August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, and May falls right after it. So, between April and May. I've got two questions that I wanted to ask, but now that I look at them, they're both yes or no questions. So rather than do that, the questions I had, so that you know, I don't like surprises. I don't like suspense. So I won't do that to you. The questions that I was going to ask is the young man's family involved? And the other question is the church involved? Those are both yes or no questions that I can't ask. However, what I can do is ask who is involved in her disappearance. And I'm sure I probably asked this question before, but I'm going to ask it again, because that's how I am. I like asking them more than one time sometimes. So we're going to ask, in place of, is the young man's family involved and is the church involved? Who is involved in her disappearance? So the first card I pull out is the Queen of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Excuse me while I get a drink of my tea. First off, we know that Grandma and Mom is both Taurus, and we know the flute player is a Capricorn. Let's start with that. Secondly, Pentacles could represent either her home, or it could represent the church. Now, what's bothering me is the next card. There is no sign assigned to it, no astrology sign that I'm aware of associated with it. This is the Hanging Man. When we see people chained, we often think of dungeons. And people needing to break free of chains. And then we have this card, the Lover's card, which, as I said, now, I don't have, there's some signs I'm missing related to the church. So I don't know if there's a Gemini in the church that I don't have. But somebody had a choice to make. The Lover's card represents choices and decisions. Now, if you watched yesterday's video, you will notice two cards on the board that came up quite regular yesterday. That was this card and this card. This is Summer's card. And again, I will repeat it. Be patient. So I'm going to clarify these cards. Because as I said, that very first card, the Queen, could represent several things. And people. So let's see if we can hone in on what this Queen represents. Here we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So, Cups, we're looking... I don't know if the young man went to church or went to the same church. So, we have the possibility of Dad or the young man here. But there's a delay. That's why the card's in reverse. Or this person is facing that person. Both cards are reversed. They are both in reverse. Let's look at the Hangman. Let's see what we get with that. We've got another ace on the board. And it's also in reverse. So there's a delay in somebody's feelings or somebody's energy is drained. Let's look at the Lover's card. I'm going to go through these and then I'll come back to them. And here we have the Seven of Swords. And he is upright. And then we're going to come over here to the Star card. I've got the Four of Wands. It's in reverse. So I said, my question to Spirit was, who's involved? Who is involved? And I'm getting Wands here, Wands here, Wands specifically here in relation to Summer's card. However, if you remember what I said my initial questions were that I could not answer, is the young man's family involved or is the church involved? This card right here makes it hard to answer because it could be either one. I don't see any stained glass on this pentacle. Which, you know, to me, stained glass would represent the church. So I would have to look at this because there is the, if you're wondering about the church involvement when it comes to the wands, the young man that holds the prayer vigil is under the sign of Leo. I don't know the Sunday school teacher and I don't know the preacher. I don't have their signs. But like I said, since I don't have the stained glass here, I'm looking more towards the young man's family. And I know people say, well, even though they know the dogs know the family, they'd still bark. Yes, you're right. They would still bark. But you got to take into consideration if the dogs did bark. Let's say the dogs did bark and it was one of the family members and Mom and Grandma wasn't paying attention. Or let's say that this person showed up before Mom and Grandma and Summer got back. Here's a hypothetical for you. I'll give you something to think about. The young man has a younger sister that falls under the fire signs. If she showed up, yeah, the dogs would bark, and the boys allegedly were home alone. Well, they would know her if they seen her. Now take this into consideration. The boys are inside playing like Mom suggested. The boys might not even pay any attention to the dogs barking, depending on how soon Mom and Grandma and Summer pulled in. And if the basement door was not really locked, that person could have gone into the basement. This is just something to think about. Just something to think about. I can be totally wrong. It's more plausible than an overweight person that does prayer vigils climbing up a hill to take a child. if in fact that's where she went missing from, was the home. That's another thing we don't know for sure. So I'm going to end this video here. If you have any questions, I wanted to do the video simply because of what I seen come out in social media this morning. And that was supposedly, allegedly, there was some sort of activity taking place at the home last night. It's not been confirmed by any law enforcement agency that I am aware of, or any news agency that I am aware of, unless it takes place while I'm doing this video. So, if you have any questions, leave them below in the comments section. If I don't get to them right away, just know that I do still see them. I am trying to stay on top of this and work on some other cases as well, because I did promise somebody that I would work on the West Memphis 3. I haven't forgot you. I send much love, many blessings to my subscribers, my viewers, each and every one of you. Stay safe out there in that weather. I know the hurricanes have been hitting. Let's pray for all those that were in the path of the hurricanes. And let's pray for little Summer Moon Utah Wells. Bring summer home. As always, I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.